time they hit him with a chair, it wouldn't hurt him in the head at all. But for other guys who try to get in close shots.
Why are you saying it wouldn't hurt him at all?
Well, he's hard-headed. I mean, look, he's got a hard noggin.
I think this
you know that you tell Bill Apter something and it's like he doesn't listen to you. You tell Bill Apter, say, Bill, we want you there at 3:00. And between the time you tell him 3:00 and 3:00, he'll call you 100 times. And say, what was that time again? And it's not old age, just he's hard-headed.
But I can't argue anything you're saying. You've nailed it.
He's just hard-headed. So it wouldn't have hurt him, but it really, for the cameraman, it would have been some doing a lot of dancing. Look how the camera moved over to the left, walks in. Yeah, it's good stuff. So they were ahead of their time. And not only that, the stuff that they were doing back then, I've said this many times, it stood the test of time. The fan reaction and the fan involvement is more here than any other sport or any other wrestling company. And now it's that way on a mainstream level, really. So yeah, man, let's do it. Come on. Do me we've seen some great spots here. And I think I have to say, I have to agree with Meltzer on one thing here, is that, the length of this match kind of wearing him down.
Too long, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
They're going to go 16 minutes, 38 seconds. It gets 3.25 stars. And, yeah.
See, I'm always in favor of all matches going a max of 15.
All matches?
Mm-hmm. Unless you got something, one big storyline. But I think sometimes that kids can just go too long.
You grew up on Ric Flair wrestling Broadways.
Right.
And now you're advocating 15.
I'm advocating 15 because there are not that many Ric Flairs and Ricky Steamboats out there. There's some. I mean, how many?
I think I understand what you're saying, and that you're saying, sort of less is more.
Right.
However, I do think, you can, a 20-minute, that extra 5 minutes sometimes makes a lot of difference.
Right. I agree. But if the guys can perform, but sometimes you get to that 20-minute mark and they're doing things that you've seen already.
But you're right in that it needs to, if you're going to go longer, maybe this is what you're trying to say. Let me take a stab at it. Maybe the gimmick is, let me try to translate for Tony.
Well, you're translating. I need you with me everywhere.
If there is a storyline issue the fans can get excited about and sink their teeth into, you can go longer than 15. But if you're just gonna have a really good match, an entertaining match, cold, with no backstory,
right,
15 is probably the limit.
Yeah. Thank you for translating. You're right. Fans are loving this. I don't necessarily love this though.
What?
Well, I love I get it. I love seeing women, as you know, but that was such a very good spot and they were cheering the guys, but it's as if she's trying, well, you mentioned this before. Now she's drawn the attention to herself.
Well, that's sort of her gimmick.
Right. This taping of Jerry Lynn's ribs, was that a shoot?
No.
Okay. Was the match over there? Did we miss the finish?
Oh my God. Yes, that was the finish. And you were like, she's trying to get herself over. Like, well, the match is over. It was a pin with a 3/4 Nelson cradle.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
I was talking about, well, sometimes you miss the finish and sometimes the finish is not important. What's that thing on Don Callis's forehead anyway?
It's like a jewel. He's like a cult leader, you see.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what cult leaders do? Put a jewel on their head?
What? Have you ever been led in a cult?
No. Have you ever been in a cult? There's got to be cults in Alabama somewhere.
Dude, you're running a cult right now on Patreon. How do you not fucking know this?
Well, maybe I should just put a jewel on my head the next time I do a live chat.
You put one in your belly button 3 weeks ago.
I did not.
What's the difference?
Simon Diamond. What about him reminds me of Matt Stryker?
Geographic background, jawline.
Could be.
So he's doing a gimmick here. Simon Says.
Okay.
Was the gimmick. By the way, he would go on to be a creative force backstage with Impact Wrestling. He was there for a long time, I believe. And I think his real name is Pat Kenny. And you may have heard that name from there, but here he is doing his in-ring work as Simon Diamond.
So he's going to grab the microphone and do a couple Simon Says things for us here?
Yes. Do you want to hear something?
Sure. Let's hear some.
We can make that happen. Gonna tap it, make sure it's working.
Chicago! Simon has a problem.
There he goes. Sounds good so far. You understood that, didn't you?
Simon does not suck.
Simon's making friends fast.
What do you think about a "you suck dick" chant, Tony? Are you for it? You against it?
If the moment is right, I'm for it.
Hypothetically, if you come out one of these first AEW TV tapings and the crowd has decided they've had enough of you, you're in here trying to take a job from the voice of wrestling, Jim Ross, and they start chanting, "You suck dick, you suck dick." I mean, would you look at that as like positive thing?
No, I would not. And I think you mentioned something. You're setting up something that's completely wrong. You motherfucker.
What so you don't suck dick or you do? Well, it's okay if you do. It's 2019.
I'm not here to,
You can suck or not suck whatever you want, Tony. It's fine. No judgment. Judgment free zone.
oh my God.
Hello? Are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. All of a sudden I get this big job and you turn against me.
How have I turned against you? I mean,
Did you just listen to what you just said?
I said, if the fans.
Yeah. But I'm not going to take Jim Ross's job.
Oh, I didn't say you were, but I think a lot of fans are going to interpret that once they find out how many commas are in your weekly paycheck.
Oh, I'm not. And I'm going to do a lot of behind the scenes work. You see,
Where are you at on Jazz here?
I'm for.
Of course, Jazz was, in all of our AEW shenanigans over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.